Perfect. Good afternoon. My name is Laura Platt. Welcome to Empower Our Elk Grove. It is my distinct privilege and honor to introduce our guest speaker for today, Lakia Barnett. She'll be speaking on the topic of blueprints, how our life is a blueprint. I will let her expand upon that, but she is the founder and visionary of Tears to Purpose monologue movement, which she is now starting to expand and turning into a play. So we're excited to hear more about that. Anytime that we can take our pain or our discomfort and move it into purpose and find our identity in that, I think many of us relate to that topic and want more information on how to be effective and efficient at moving through that quickly and getting to the other side. So without further ado, Lakia, please take the stage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me again. I am super ecstatic to be here today, to be able to just share simply how to be a blueprint. And I will just briefly say that it had to start with me first. It had to start with what I call my tears first to be able to expound on what I'm getting ready to share with you today. So briefly, before I jump into how to be a blueprint or how to recognize that you are a blueprint, I would definitely say that this sort of came about at a very fragile time in my life because I was once homeless. Back in 2013, me and my family, we lost everything. We literally went from having to having nothing. It was like bottom pit, and we literally had to like leave and go into a shelter here in Washington, D.C., and we were there all the way up until 2018. So can you just imagine the length of time from 2013 to 2018 of just kind of trying to find your way? You're trying to find out what is going to happen. You're not really knowing. Family and friends can't help you. It's just like you're placed there. But in that time, I found out that I was more than what I thought I was. I actually began to tap into other things. Sometimes when you go through stuff, that's when you begin to see who you really are. You know, whatever is hidden, it usually comes out and rises up in those very moments. So that's what I found out. So what I'm getting ready to share with you, it literally came from that point in my life till now. And this is how I found out that I was a blueprint. And some of you that are watching right now, it's probably like, Lakia, what is a blueprint? So I'm just going to give you the basic definition, right? The basic definition of blueprint is a design. It is really a design that cannot be copied. Listen to me good when I say this. It cannot be copied. That original design. This is something that you see that's blueprinted. It has special tailor-made things. And that's what some of you are that are watching me right now. Some of you are really tailor-made. You cannot be copied. You can't be mimicked. Nobody can go and try to redo who you are. So that is the definition of the blueprint. So when I say I am a blueprint and I cannot be copied, I really mean it. I mean that you cannot be copied. So what makes you a blueprint? What makes you a blueprint is simply this: your authentic sound. When you speak, when you come into a room, people are amazed by your voice. It's something in your voice that catches the attention of the people that you're surrounding. So when you have an authentic sound, that means you're different. That means that if you were feeling like, even when you were going through high school, I know I did. When I was going through high school, I was always feeling very set apart. I was always feeling like, my mind is somewhere else, like it's way past the surface thing, right? How many of you can attest to this? If you look back on your life, you will literally be like, oh man, I am not what everybody else is doing. That is because you're authentic. You have an authentic sound. When you speak, you own the room. You catch people's attention. You're different. It can be with the way you dress, the way that you walk, the way that you are doing something. It can be a tailor-made product that you've made that nobody has ever seen. It is because you are a blueprint. And when you're a blueprint, you cannot be boxed. You cannot be put into a box and say, hey, I need you to do it like this. Your blueprint is really going to bust out of that box and be like, this is not it. I got to do this a different kind of way. That is a blueprint. Also, blueprints set trends. They don't follow trends. They set trends, okay? Also, blueprints make an impact. Anywhere that we go, we always make impact. We change lives. We set out on a journey, and we know without a shadow of a doubt, if I come into this room, if I release this book, if I release this product, if I open this business, it is going to impact whoever I reach, right? So that is a blueprint. Also, knowing that you are a solution to somebody's problem. A blueprint is a solution. Whoever is watching me that's under the sound of my voice right now, you are a blueprint and you have the solution to somebody's problem. Whether you know them or not, you are the solution, because what you have in you is going to come out of you, and which is going to help that next person get to what they need to get to too. So this brings me into my next set of conclusions here. Work your mojo as a blueprint. What do I mean by that? Work your mojo means, number one, you need to know your tribe. You need to know your audience. You need to know your set people. When you're a blueprint, you are not called to everybody. So everybody might not get you as a blueprint. They might not understand how you operate and what your dish is. When you put out a product or when you put out a book, it's almost like your tribe of people, remember I said in the beginning, they know your authentic sound. They know you by your sound. So they're automatically going to gravitate to you. They're going to be like, oh, this is who I've been waiting for this whole time. Where has she been all of my life? That's because they are your set people. They are your tribe of people. Those are the people that are going to go get your products. Those are the people that are going to go buy that book that you spent your tears, your bloodshed work on. Those are the people that have been waiting for you to come forth, right? So then it's also knowing who you cater to, understanding that you are the key to somebody else's journey. See, being a blueprint doesn't mean self, me. This means that you had to get shaped. You had to learn who you are so somebody else can be released. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so we're going to move on to number two. Number two, set out to change lives. Remember I said blueprints like the impact. We like to make the difference. So when you're going into your blueprint journey, understand that you need to make a difference. You need to, whoever you connect with, whether it's a book that you're writing, whether it's a storefront that you're opening up, there has to be something about what you are doing that is going to change the life of that next person. Blueprints care about that stuff. We care about that. So whatever your niche is, understand that you are supposed to impact everybody you connect to. It is not by chance that you step in front of the president one day. You may have to impact him. You may have to impact his wife. You might have to impact his whole clan that comes with him. So understand, you're not just doing it for one, you're doing it for many, So understand that you are supposed to leave residue on these people. You're supposed to leave your residue, your print on these people. When you leave from out of their face and from out of their environment, they're gonna know you were there. That is the point of being this excellent blueprint. When you step into a room, they're gonna know, oh, she was in here. She definitely left her impact in this room. Number three, I always tell blueprints to challenge themselves. Go beyond what your normal mind says that you can do. I want you to expand your mind. I want you to go beyond the normal. See, blueprints, we don't do normal. We like to go beyond what people say that we cannot do. When somebody tells a blueprint they can't do something, they're going to work even extra harder to prove you wrong, right? So that's the blueprint. We don't do what's on surface. We do above that. We go way beyond that. So way beyond what people are seeing. So some people just may say, oh, that's just Lakia. But to other people, they're like, nah, that's not just Lakia. Lakia is way beyond Lakia. She has done triple over that. So that's what blueprints do. We go beyond. We challenge ourselves to go harder than what the average person is doing. Number four, this is very important. I can't express this enough. I need you to know your identity. When you do not know your identity, it is very hard to find out what your passion is, what your niche is, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're not supposed to be doing, what works for you, what don't work for you, who is your audience, who's not your audience. It's very, very hard when you have not got to know you and what your identity stands for. So now this is key to a blueprint, because if a blueprint doesn't know who they are, it's kind of like they're lost. They're just out here. It's like really covering up your eyes just like this, and you're blind walking. And you can stumble in so many blocks, and it can take you more time than what is expected of you because you don't know who you are. So it's kind of like the clock is ticking. And when the clock begins to tick, you're wasting time for each second and moment that you don't catch on to who you really are. So that is important. Understanding your identity, understanding that you're set apart. There is nothing wrong with being set apart. Whoever says that, oh, you're different. Oh, you dress this way, you look this way. Oh, you did your book like this, or you opened your business like this. The product looks like this. The packaging of the color looks like this. If they're saying that, it's because they don't understand. They don't understand that a blueprint has everything programmed in their mind. They see visual. They see beyond what you're seeing. And that's why certain things look or sound the way that they do when it comes from a blueprint. So this is why you have to understand that your identity is key. Knowing who you are is key. It gives you power to be able to step in a room and demand people to listen. It gives you power to walk in a room and you own it with confidence. It gives you power to know exactly what you're talking about when you're talking about it. And people won't be confused when you leave about that room, because they're going to be like, oh, she's on it. She knows who she is. All right. Leading me to my next point. Know what your purpose for. Know what your purpose for. A lot of blueprints can get tangled up because blueprints think because they have this thing where we can do anything. We're like superheroes. We can do everything we put our minds to. But understand this. If you do not know what your purpose for, you can be all over the place. And that is not making no impact at all. Really, it's not. It's not making any at all. It's just you all over the place, just doing what everything your mind tell it to do. But you have to quiet your mind. Get it still enough to focus in on what your hands really are supposed to be doing, what you're really supposed to be setting out to do. Know that everything has to make sense. Everything has to be purposeful when a blueprint is doing something, because that's the only way you're going to make impact. That's the only way you're going to find your tribe. That's the only way you're going to know your identity. Everything has to be purposeful and meaningful. You have to understand your why of why you're doing something. You have to understand that I was graced to do this. You have to understand that there is a certain kind of passion that a blueprint must have. To see, blueprints get a little bored sometimes. So we get bored. It makes things very frustrating after a while because we're like, wait, this is not working. Why is it not working? It's not working because you have not gotten tunnel vision yet on what it is you're really graced to do. What is your real passion? Not what somebody else is telling you to do. Not what you think society is going to want, but what you're really supposed to be doing. Also, consistency. Stay consistent. Make it your everyday grind. Put your heart and your passion in whatever it is. If it's producing a product, if it's becoming a speaker, if it is producing a book, if it is helping somebody to reach their potential, be consistent as a blueprint so that people can see what you're all about. Also, make the leap. Some people are scared to be the blueprint that they are called to be. Some people are scared because they're worried about being denied. They're worried about people judging them. They're worried about people saying, nobody's going to understand me. Nobody's going to get it. They're not meant to. But the people that are assigned to you, the people that are destined to hear your authentic sound, those are the ones that are going to get it. You can't please everybody. There is a certain set people that you as a blueprint are assigned to. So make the leap. Trust yourself. Understand that you're here for a purpose and you have a job to do. And people are waiting on you. They're waiting on you to release that sound, to release that niche and that passion that you have to the world. Take the action. So I hope today that someone was inspired by what I'm saying. You know why? Because guess what? I have been there, done that. I have crawled through the mud, walked through it, kicked, screamed, holler, everything there was. I have literally ran in circles so many times, but I had to understand, Lakia, what are you doing? You're wasting time. You're wasting time trying to please others. You're wasting time trying to fit in a box when I wasn't born to fit in a box. I was literally born to be a blueprint. And remember, a blueprint cannot be copied. You're the original. Nobody can try to copy you. They can try, but it won't work because they're not you. So I hope that today that you have figured out that, hey, I'm that blueprint she's talking about. And today I challenge you to take action with that and do what you're purposed to do as a blueprint. So I hope that it helped you today. Again, my name is Lakia Barnett, identity and purpose coach, founder of Tears of Purpose Monologue Ministries. And I hope that you were blessed today with this piece of information that I just wanted to share with you all to get you on your blueprinted way.
Oh my gosh, that was so compelling. And I had typed into the chat that I think I was assigned to you today, just so you know. I think I was assigned to hear this today. Sometimes you just need that pouring in, but there is no doubt, Lakia, that you have found your purpose in this type of presentation. And I love the idea of the blueprint. I want to open this up and give people an opportunity to comment on things that connected with their heart, connected into their soul, something that might have moved them forward, a way that she described something that is different than how you'd heard it, that gave you an aha moment. Let's give her some feedback, but also, I'd love to hear for myself how this has all impacted everybody. Feel free to come off mute.
I have something. So something that I thought was absolutely amazing was, and I think it was a good reminder, even though you like hear something sometimes you're just kind of like, oh, that's nice. Today, the fact that you kept saying over and over again about how we are here to make an impact on other people, right? And so sometimes you forget that, like you get so busy in the grind, you get so busy with like, oh my God, my kid's got to do this and I've got to do that. And you get so busy with that grind that you forget that your purpose, that you're here for a reason, that you're here to make an impact on other people, no matter what we're doing. And even though sometimes we feel very small with what we're doing, our impact can be really large. And you never know who's really watching what you're doing on Facebook, or even, your children are watching you consistently if you have children. And it was just a really good reminder that we're here for a purpose, and that we're here to help impact others, whether we're paying attention to it or not. So thank you.
Yeah. I definitely really connected with the concept of it starts with you first. I think when people recognize that what we do inside here, the work that we do on our heart, our head, our mind, our body, we are world changers, right? We change our world and that ripples out. And I think your desire to find that authenticness and that individuality that the blueprint describes, right? You are one person that is entirely different. You are a design that is entirely different. I think that frees people up to let go of some of the what do they think, what are they going to say. And I certainly in my own work find that when people are willing to walk in the direction that is not the way everybody else is walking, that is more in line with their heart and their dreams and their desires, they are happier, better, more productive people, and they do make an impact. But it is compelling to me how much command you have of that message. And it's so clear that that work that you did on yourself is the power behind how you present that. And it just, from my own motivational speaking perspective, it really just impacted me how there is no doubt that you've done that work. There is no doubt that that belief is how you see the world and the lens through which you see other people's potential as well. And it's beautiful to witness. So that was compelling for me. Other comments? I know we've got a couple people off of work. I'm sure you're going to get a ton of comments after this is posted on Facebook. I personally, Lakia, I literally, as you were talking, I was saying to myself, I've got to send this to so-and-so. I've got to send this to so-and-so. It was literally just one of those moments for me. I am so grateful that you came to share this with our group. If we can facilitate any way for you to have more exposure into the larger world, I don't think I'm alone in saying that we might have needed that in all of the years that led up to 2020. We needed you, but man, do we need you this year. So let's get your information. If you can type it into the chat box, how people can connect with you, how people can find you, and how people can share this message outside of just us tagging it on Facebook and sharing it to an individual person. So I'll check the chat box here. Okay, we're looking for some Instagram accounts. So feel free to type into the chat box people's Instagram accounts for sure. This might mean that we end a little bit early, but I did want to just take a moment. So I get these times messed up all the time, so I'm actually going to check my notes. We are going to be condensing our Empower Hours in November and December. Obviously, this is a unique year, and one of the most amazing things that we can do as women is come together to support each other. And so while we have audiences for Elk Grove, for Vacaville, or I'm sorry, Elk Grove for San Diego, Gold River, et cetera, we feel that if we come together as a larger group and have the ability for one person to impact more people at a time, and also create a little FOMO, right? A little fear of missing out. We've condensed the Empower Hours into 2 events. So moving forward in November and December, the 2 events will be the Sacramento Empower Hour. That's going to be, it's a Thursday at 9:30. And then the Solano Empower Hour, Stephanie, help me. I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the second Wednesday of every month at 12, and then the Empower Hour Sacramento is the first Thursday at 9:30 for the months of November and December.
And I'm so sorry, I should be better at keeping all of that clear. It's I've got lots of dates rolling around in my head, as I know we all do. But so please make a point of putting those on your calendar. Join us. The bigger the tribe, the merrier the group. So let's try to get on those calls for Solano and for Sacramento Empower Hour for November and December. The hope would be that, I think we all miss hugs, right? We all miss being together in person. I think the moment that is a safe and available option for us, I think we will be running back into each other's arms and graces. We're just not there yet. And so let's be patient with this process of getting through whatever we're doing. This year is about personal growth. It's about change. It's about mindset. And so these moments with people like Lakia and on this call are an opportunity for us to do a shift and to stay positive throughout our month. So let's look forward to connecting on the next 2 calls in November. Outside of that, if there's not any final comments, I actually wanted to close doing something different today, if I could do that. I've collected quotes my entire life. I have books of them. I have them printed out. They're all over the place. I wanted to leave us with a quote, just something that you could carry with you in your heart, and hopefully it will impact the rest of your day. So the quote is from a gentleman named John Wesley. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. So hopefully you will go out, carry that in your heart, and touch somebody's life today. You've been touched, pass that forward. Okay, we will see you on our next Empower Hour in November. Take care. And Lakia, you're amazing. I want to meet you in person. So take care, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.